Far from the glare of big-time college football are the prairies of North Dakota. Once the crops have been harvested, the thoughts of every North Dakotan turn to one of the oldest and fiercest rivalries in the nation. The universities of North Dakota and North Dakota State are preparing to meet for the 101st time.
Try the 120th meeting for the Battle of North Dakota. Welcome to the Bison Overtime Show, everybody. I'm Herbert alongside Ethan Nybach. And Ethan, two things are up for grabs this weekend: bragging rights and the outright conference championship.
Yeah, I wish it was for the nickel trophy, but that's been abandoned for about 20 years. But it's always a big week when you're playing a Dakota team, and especially that team up north.
That team up north. Quick shout-outs before we get on with the rest of the show. Shout-out Carlton Lance. That's Bryce Lance's dad. He watches the show. He told Ethan about that on Saturday. Yep. And the head ball coach, Tim Polisek, watches this show. He follows us on X. He was follower number 144. We appreciate watching us, Coach, because we know you watch everything around here, so we appreciate your cover, you watching us, and looking forward to the rest of the season here. Before we, because we're heavy in football season, we're going to just focus on basketball for just a quick second. So women's basketball, they started their season, I should say. They beat Northern Iowa 63-49. It's their first win over a Missouri Valley Conference school since 2021. That's a good start for the women.
Yeah, it's now or never for the women's team.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been building for years. Jory Collins is doing a great job, and I'm excited for this team this year.
Jossie Schiller, Avery Coonan, good team they got there. The men, this close to pulling off the upset against the Pac-12 or West Coast conferences, Oregon State Beavers. Yep. I don't know which one conference they're in at this point, but either way, they fell 67-65. A late basket by the Beavers won the game. Men's basketball may be better than we thought. Markai Strickland had a good game. They're gonna be good if the rest of this team around Feddersen and Strickland, if they can cohesively gel together, they may also be able to make a run in the wide open Summit League.
Yeah, and we just don't know because of Summit League. If you're all conference, you're gone the next year. So we don't know what the Bison are, and it's only November, so we'll find out in the next.
We're gonna find out really quick how good these teams are. We know who is really good. That's the Bison football team, the number one team in the country, facing off with the 18th ranked Youngstown State Penguins. This was a battle of the two top quarterbacks in the conference, arguably, depending on who you ask. Cole Payton and Bo Brungard. It was a fun one and a wild one inside the Fargo Dome. Let's roll the highlights, guys, in the back. North Dakota State, Youngstown State from the Fargo Dome. Youngstown wins the toss. Josh Wilkins opening kickoff goes through the end zone for a touchback. Bison ball early. The Penguins get off to a great start. Cole Payton's pass is incomplete. The Bison go 3-and-out. Carson Williams was the intended target.
Got to come in with that one. Williams knows that.
1st and 10. First play from scrimmage for YSU. Bo Brungard with the play fake and the bullet to Max Tomczak for 14 yards to the YSU 42. Next play, Kylan Flash Wilson takes the end around for 11 yards to the NDSU 47.
That guy's a weapon.
There's a reason he's one of the tops in conference in yardage. 1st and 10, Brungard breaks the pocket. He'll pick up 11 yards to the NDSU 22, just shy of the red zone.
Dare I say he's quicker than Cole Payton?
That's fair to say.
Yeah.
2nd down 11 now. Brungard's going to swing this one out to Tomczak, and he'll pick up 12 yards to the NDSU 11-yard line. Youngstown's moving the ball early. After an intentional grounding penalty, Andrew Leskova comes on and drills a 47-yard field goal. So had plenty to spare. 3-0 Penguins. 11 plays, 43 yards, 7:16 off the clock. Ensuing kickoff, Rajon Nelson from his 5. He'll return the kickoff 39 yards to the NDSU 44 for Luke Hensley will usher him out of bounds.
Seems like every time the Bison go down, Rajon Nelson just provides a spark, and that's what he's been his whole career. And especially this year. Ethan,
it's 3rd and 8. Middle field's open. Who's getting the ball?
I'm going to say Reese Kessel.
Reese Kessel is the correct answer to the tune of 21 yards. Big play. And almost another punt situation. They didn't pick that up. Next play on the boot. Payton rolls to his left and hits the other tight end. This time he completes it to Carson Williams for 11 yards to the YSU 22.
Yeah, good to see him redeem himself there. That nice catch.
2nd and goal. Barika Penu leaps in from a yard out. 7-3 NDSU. They respond with an 11-play, 56-yard drive. 5:34 off the clock.
That's all Barika does is run it in from 1 yard out.
He's good at it. Now back come the Penguins. Brungard evades and hits Tomczak over the middle for 13 yards to the midfield stripe.
Thought that was good defense, too. That's just a
It
heck of
was.
a play.
7-3 Bison after one quarter. Start of the second. 2nd and 4. Flash Wilson takes another end around and picks up another first down to the NDSU 18. He's called Flash because he can flat fly.
He's like Debo Samuel. It takes all these end arounds.
Little bit.
Got the speed. Hard to bring down, too.
Brungard on 1st and 10 is going to hand off to Jaden Gilbert. Breaks tackles and he's going to drag Talon Edie to the NDSU 6.
It's kind of the only tailback run game they got going all day. It's good to see from the Bison.
2nd and goal. Brungard scans. Breaks contain. Scampers down the sideline and scores from 10 yards out. The Penguins regain the lead 10-7. Jalen Duffy got hurt on the field there. He would not return with a concussion.
Yeah, not much you can do there. This guy's just a heck of an athlete.
2nd and 10 now. Peyton fires right. There's Bryce Lance for 14 yards on a first down. Barika Penu hits the hole, cuts it back, and rushes for 13 yards to the YSU 48.
He ran good on Saturday. Stats might not show up, but he was a tough runner.
So the Bison drive would stall. Bickerton would pin him at their own 6, but Brungard hits Mike Solomon on the sideline for 12 yards to the YSU 19. Now 2nd and 10. Brungard looks to set up a tunnel screen to Wilson, but the pass glances off the helmet of Desmiel Lee, and the pass is intercepted by Donovan Willen at the ISU 19. Big momentum-changing play.
Yeah, that's what this defense has done all year. They might give up yardage, but they're not going to give up a ton of points. And when you need a spark, they provide it.
2nd and goal. Bison would capitalize as DJ Scott will plunge in from 3 yards out, and the Bison regain the lead 14-10. Just a short 4-play, 19-yard drive.
Yeah, it's good to see DJ finally get in the end zone. He's had a lot of close calls.
Ensuing kickoff. Flash Wilson. Doink. Ball glances off his face mask. Keegan Huber, Johnny on the spot at the YSU 9. Tim Posse would call that a hustle play.
Yeah, it's not luck. He was hustling. I mean, there was guys around that could have recovered it for YSU. And this is what almost decided the game. You'll see, fans will see later.
2 plays later, Barika Penu heads into traffic. Just gets the ball over the plane of the goal line. They ruled a touchdown. It stayed a touchdown on the field afterwards after review. 2 plays, 9 yards. The Bison lead balloons to 11.
More than a 1-yard rush for Barika for a touchdown.
Flash Wilson catches this kickoff and redeems himself. 52-yard kickoff return to the NDSU 46. Eli Ozick does just enough to steer him towards the sideline.
Yeah, like you were saying, this guy's a weapon. I mean, he's like I said, Debo Samuel. You can use him in a variety of ways.
Now Brungard on the timing pattern to Tomzak for 8 yards to the Bison 36. First down. Later in the drive, Brungard goes back to the well that is Tomzak. He'll make this catch for 12 yards to the NDSU 19. Moving the ball with the Penguins.
I thought it was good defense, too. It's just a heck of a play.
Brungard throws the ball where Alex McDonald caught the ball. The Bison lead by 4. Anyways, 21-17.
No comment on that one.
There will be no comments needed after this play. Jackson Williams takes the kickoff from 2 yards deep. He'll emerge from the pile here, come out, truck the kicker, and he could go all the way. 100-yard kickoff return, 28-17 Bison. What a play by Jackson Williams.
Just like Abilene Christian last year, the Bison needed a spark, and what did they do? Kickoff return. For the people watching, go to the 2015 quarterfinal opening kickoff of the second half. Bruce Anderson, identical to this, just on the other side of the field.
I mean, watch this. Breaks one tackle there, tries it with that little shoulder tackle. He gets pushed forward, then trucks the kicker.
Yeah, poor kicker.
Poor kicker. He's the only guy's going to stop him, and then just blazing speed. The Omaha native, only Owen Johnson's going to catch him. He plays on the same team. So it's 28-17 Bison, 3rd and 11. Jaden Gilbert finds a crease, picks up 39 yards before Anthony Chideme Alfaro takes him down at the NDSU 37.
Yeah, just over pursuing there. It's kind of disappointing on a 3rd and 11 to give
So
that up.
Youngstown manages to steal points before half as Angela Skova comes on the field again, 49 yards, and this kick is just blasted for 3. It's 28-20 Bison at recess.
Yeah, they kind of have a weapon at kicker. He was just on point.
3rd quarter, 8-point lead for NDSU. Penguins pick up where they left off, as Brungard hits Jaden Gilbert. He gets lost in coverage for 31 yards to the Bison 34. Drive would stall. Leskova comes on the field again, 42 yards. This kick is good. Leskova went 3 for 3 on field goal attempts, and none of them were particularly close from being missed.
Yeah, that guy's That guy's good.
Cole Payton completes this pass over the middle to third down specialist Rajon Nelson for 10 yards for a first down. Bison come up clutch again on third down as Payton hits the old reliable right in the middle of the field. It's Bryce Lance for 31 yards to the YSU 22.
I mean, I don't know what to say. That's just a heck of a catch.
Yeah. And then Barika Penu gets the bush push from Cole Payton for his third touchdown of the day and his 15th of the season. And the Bison have some breathing room now. It's 35-23. That was a 12-play, 84-yard drive. Now, 1st and 10, Penguins try to answer. Brungar will take a quarterback draw play, 11 yards to the YSU 33.
Dude's quick.
The Penguins would punt. Bison look for a score to seal it. Payton fires a pass down the sideline to Chris Harris. He hauls it in for 13 yards. Takes out the communication signal for the Penguins. Whoops. 3rd and 5, Payton. There's going to be a holding call on this play. Trying to make some magic happen. But the ball is tipped and intercepted by Preston Zadie, or DJ Scott just didn't look it in.
Yeah, that's not going to look good on the stat sheet for Payton, but that's all DJ Scott, and I'm sure the coach let him know.
3rd down and 6, Brungard scrambles. This is an NFL-like pass. Watch this, folks. Luke Hensley on the sideline route for 27 yards. That's a great throw.
You just can't defend that.
No.
I mean, the defense played well, honestly. That's impossible to defend.
Brungard takes off again, has a lot of real estate. He picks up 16 yards. He gets it to the Bison 2-yard line, just shy of the goal line. But it's 1st down and goal.
Not a lot of guys in FCS that can do that.
Now Brungard, he's going to beat Ryan Jones to the corner. It's a 35-30 game. Hey, high five, high five.
Yeah, some excited YSU
7
fans
plays, 65
there.
yard drive. Bison on the response. Cole Payton bubbles it to Bryce Lance. He picks up 13 yards to the NDSU 37.
Yeah, when you need a spark, just go to number 5, I guess.
3rd and 18, biggest play of the game for the Bison on offense. Cole Payton scrambles to his right, and somehow completes this pass to Rajon Nelson for 26 yards. What?
That's Josh Allen. I mean, who in the NFL can make that throw?
Not
and
many.
Catch?
Barika Penu emerges from the chaos. He picks up 18 yards. Only a shoestring tackle by Dathan Hickey keeps him out of the end zone.
He's going to break one soon. Just wait.
Bison looked to put it away. Cole Payton could hit Jackson Williams there on the slant, but rolls left and takes on the entire Penguin defense. And they just keep him short of the first, and he's short by about a good yard.
That would have been maybe the play of the year.
So decision time for Polisic. Does he kick it or go for it? He decides to kick it to take the full 8-point lead. So it's 38-30. The 21-yard field goal by Ozick is good. Penguins are forced to punt. 3rd and 5. That pass is complete to Rajon Nelson again for a first down, a gain of 10.
Yeah, when in doubt on 3rd down, you go to Raja.
3rd down and 3. Bison can win with a first down. Makai Shaheed stands up Payton in the backfield for a loss, and the Penguins have a pulse with just about a minute to go.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to keep going here. They have momentum, 63 seconds. The Penguins could tie the game, and then lights out as Flash Wilson is stripped by Anthony Chidemi Alfaro. Ball's on the ground. Zach Vanderpool with the recovery for the win.
Yeah, Chidemi Alfaro had a great day. We'll highlight it later, but I mean...
Watch the strip right there. The ball's clearly out, and a clear recovery by Zach Vanderpool. They would look at it, and they would overturn the call. It was a turnover, and the Bison would kneel out the clock to win their 13th straight game and their 17th straight home game, and the Bison advanced to 9-0 as they head to the Alara Center. That was, I think we expected this to be that kind of game where Youngstown's a good football team. They're 5-4. But again, just so we're clear, their losses are Michigan State. They're not bad in the Big Ten.
It was a close
and
game.
then Dakota School, South Dakota State, UND, North Dakota State.
Yeah.
If they're 8, because their last 3 games, Southern Illinois, Indiana State, Northern Iowa, they win all 3 of those games. They're 8-4, and they're going to scare the heck out of somebody in Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, and if they win all those, they should be a top 16 seed, and I wouldn't want to see them in Fargo in the second round.
No chance.
I could see this team maybe make the quarters. They're good.
That's true. Just look at the stats here quickly. Just looking at the numbers that we're seeing, YSU more first downs. They outrushed NDSU, more yards per rush. They outgained them in yardage. But here's the thing: they only held on to the ball for 26 minutes. And they only had eight third downs, but they were only 3 of 8 on third down. That's what got them in the end.
Yeah, I mean YSU
and the turnovers. Sorry, the turnovers on there.
If YSU doesn't, I mean Flash Wilson, as much as a good day he had. That kickoff return turnover, I mean, that was a killer. And gave him a touchdown. You can't do that against the Bison. And they won basically every statistical category. They they couldn't come up when it mattered most.
Yeah, Brungard, 19 of 30, 203 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick that wasn't his fault, went off a helmet. 15 rushes for 70 yards and 2 rushing scores. I don't know if you want to say it or not. I thought Brungard was the better player, but Peyton made the bigger plays.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the difference in the game. There was a better player, but one made better plays. So these are the top 2 candidates for the Peyton. Kaminsky may have something to say about that on Saturday.
Yep.
But I think right now these are your top 2 guys. I think, again, more Bison guys calls to. I think Peyton's ahead by that much. I think these 2 are going to be neck and neck for the end of the season.
Well, and Peyton made the plays in the winning moments, and not saying Brungard didn't. It's just, I mean, Brungard doesn't have a lot around him. He has some weapons, but the O-line isn't great. He's running a ton. Peyton made the winning plays. That 3rd and 18 throw, I mean, who's making that throw?
Not many.
Yes, not many. That was a heck of a throw.
No, just a couple stars of the game here. Just highlight them quick. Ricky Penny, 15 for 74, 3 rushing touchdowns. He has 15 scores on the year. Jackson Williams was the player of the game for WDAY. 100-yard kickoff return for the touchdown. And then Raja, 3rd down after 3rd down after 3rd down. 4 receptions. I think all of them were on 3rd down for 52 receiving yards and the 3rd and 18 catch in the 4th quarter. Defensively, same. Anthony Chideme Alfaro, he has to play more with Jalen Duffy being out of the lineup. He's out this week as well. Yep. Still 9 tackles and the tackle for loss and the strip that won him the football game. Keenan Wilson, he has to kind of step up lumber because Dude Never's working his way back from the neck injury. 4 tackles and a tackle for loss. And Donovan Woolen had the interception, three solo tackles, 7 total. Those guys, I mean, the defense did just enough to win this game because they're number 1 defense in FCS. But they're going to have a game where just the other team is good too.
Yeah,
teams make plays, and Youngstown made plays.
You look at the all-time Bison teams, which a lot of people are comparing this to. They had games like this, just some clunkers gave up points they shouldn't have. And you watch back those highlights, Brungard was unbelievable. And when they needed the big plays, the Bison made the big plays, and that's what matters.
Yeah. This might be one of the craziest weeks of FCS football that we've seen in a long while, folks, because this was a crazy one. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ranked teams lost this weekend. So you got the Bison and Youngstown. That's not a surprise that we've just talked about that. Tarleton, number 2 team in the country, they lost to Abilene Christian. They tumbled to, 6th in this week's top 25 poll. We'll get to the committee rankings later on in the show. Montana, they beat Weber 38-17. And then, what is that score on the bottom left? Indiana State. The Trees go into Brookings and beat the Jacks 24-12. What happened there?
Yeah, and let's not forget Indiana State has their backup quarterback in.
Yeah.
So, and there was not a lot of fans there. Brookings is a dark place right now.
Right now. We'll keep the graphic up a little bit longer. We've got a couple more games. Montana State 55-7 Northern Colorado. No surprise there. No surprise there, I should say. UC Davis gets upset by Idaho State at home, 38-36. They were the 7th-ranked team in the country last week. They tumbled down to 11th in this week's poll. And then South Dakota. We thought this was a game UND could lose. They lost it, 26-21. South Dakota keeps their season afloat. A couple other games here. Incarnate Word, they beat Lamar. It's another ranked matchup that the ranked team got beat. Idaho beats Northern Arizona. That basically eliminates Northern Arizona from any FCS playoff conversation. Mercer defeats Furman 52-28. My boys with Stephen F. Austin got the win over UTRGV, 41-17. Then Southern Utah, they beat Austin P 33-17. So a lot of upsets this week. Again, we've gone through almost all of them. I mean, which one stood out to you the most? What was that?
I mean, the obvious one would be the one that happened in Brookings, but I'm going to say UND and USD. UND this year was like, okay, we're getting over this hump, now this hump. You finally go into Cedar Falls, you win a game that you usually don't win, a Road and Valley game. Now you beat a ranked Road Valley team. Well, they weren't ranked, but a good team.
Yeah.
Now UND is back down to earth a little bit for me. They're not this title contender I thought they were. But let's not forget, they were in position to win the game still. They had a couple of fluky touchdowns given up, but that was just a shocker.
Well, again, USD, they blocked a punt.
Yep.
They did that to get a safety on the board, and then they forced Sawyer Seidel to fumble the ball when it looks like UND's going in to possibly take a lead.
Yep.
And they fumble the ball, and the kid takes it 60 yards out of the way for a touchdown and basically sealed the game. But I was more watching Indiana State because I'm in the press box and I'm standing next to Dom. And I got my phone behind his computer, and I have because we have Midco Sports at the Spectrum, so I have it on my phone. And Keegan Patterson drops back to pass, and I'm like, oh my God, he's going to throw. And he
Yep.
lets the pass go, and I'm like, oh my God, that's a touchdown, and this game's over.
Rashad Rochelle.
Rashad Rochelle, who didn't do hardly a dang thing against the Bison, two touchdowns for the upset. They may have earned Kurt Mallory a contract extension. Don't fire him, Sycamores. He's a good coach. Keep him, please.
By the way, they almost beat South Dakota at home, so they're almost looking at 3 wins
Yeah.
this year, or 3 conference wins.
I don't feel good about my Murray State prediction, though. I
Yeah.
just don't. Just being honest with y'all, I don't think so. All right, hot take that we can cross off where I was correct. This was one of them. I said the Jacks would lose 2 conference games. I didn't think it would be Indiana State. I thought it would be Illinois State. That game still was to come. That all of a sudden becomes a huge game. SDSU's schedule is not favorable down the stretch. Nope. They got Illinois State, and they still have to go to the Alara Center. I don't know. I don't feel good about those people in Brookings right now.
Imagine if they would have lost in Bozeman. We'd be talking about them missing the playoffs right now.
Possibly.
And let's not forget, you made this prediction in week 4. This
I
was
did.
a long time ago. This is not a slam dunk pick at all.
I didn't see Chase Mason getting hurt.
No.
Or Lofton Ogroski, or Chase Van Toll, or
Reese Kirschman.
Julius Loffridge. I mean, they're going through the injury bug right now. Hopefully they can get through it soon. But they're playing for their playoff lives every week at this point.
Yep.
All right, hot takes this week. I like to focus more on the games. Ethan likes to go more national. I'm going to stay with the game itself. All right, here we go. I think the Bison force 2 turnovers against UND. The Bison have forced 2 turnovers or more, I should say, in 2 of their last 4 games, and the Fighting Hawks have turned the ball over 5 times in the last 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it'll happen, but I feel like the way this Bison defense has been playing, they're very opportunistic around the football right now. I think they can make a play or 2 and change momentum.
Yeah, and you look at the last time they won at the Alara Center, they forced a pick in the red zone, and they had a turnover on downs late in the game. This is going to be vital. They might need turnovers.
Cole Payton accounts for 3+ touchdowns. I feel pretty good about 3. I said 3 total. I think 3 or more is very possible here. He's done this 4 times this year, and he was held out of the end zone last week against Youngstown State. Didn't throw for 1, didn't run for 1. I think he's going to come out more fire in his eyes and try to get the ball into the end zone.
Yeah, I think this is a situation like we saw in Brookings. It's going to be Cole Payton throwing the ball and running the ball a lot, and I could easily see this happening.
I think Barika and DJ each score a touchdown. They've scored a touchdown in the same game 6 times this year. 6. That's unbelievable. I don't remember a time where a duo of running backs from NDSU's done that because Tim likes having a bell cow back. Yeah. But you can't stop giving the ball to DJ when he keeps finding the end zone. These guys have great noses for the end zone. They're so good at it.
Yeah, in these last 4 years, it's kind of been like, there's one running back that gets the bulk. And now we finally got that 1-2 punch and that
true
balance.
Stable, I would say.
Yeah, and it's not like it was in 16 where there was 4 guys 4 deep, but this is pretty good.
4. Sawyer Seidel has held under 100 yards. He's possibly one of the top running backs in the FCS. He's right up there with South Dakota's running back, and I think those 2 are very, very similar. But Seidel, over 100 yards. I think he's held underneath that. He's gone for over 100 each of his last 4 games. I mean, he and LJ Phillips are really, really close to each other, but yes. I think the Bison can hold Seidel under 100. I really do.
I think I'm going to say it. I think he's the best running back in the conference. He's a little like Pierre Strong, not as like bulky as him, but you remember that game 2 years ago? It was all the run game. So this is going to be huge if the Bison are going to win.
And I think the teams combined for 700+ yards total offense. That's a big number, but I say this because NDSU they average over 475 yards total offense a game. UND they average about 426 yards a game. Either this is going to be a defensive slog like it usually is when these 2 teams play, or it's going to be an aerial show underneath the big top of the Alara Center. It could be either or, but I think these teams are going to try to light each other up with some points.
I'll say this. It's not going to be like it was in 21 when Quincy Patterson couldn't complete.
This will not be that
pass.
game. Let's put it that way.
It's not going to be 16-10. UND's offense is too good to not put up points, and the Bison, Cole Payton's going to put up 30 points. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of if they can hold UND.
So, bracketology, you put this together quick.
Yep.
Let's just say this. If the first round matchups are as you predict, this is going to be a fun Thanksgiving weekend. Just looking at the match, there's some spicy first round matchups. We got Illinois State, Lamar. I'm not going to go through all of these, but there's some that stand out to me. Youngstown, Western Carolina. Winner goes to Montana.
Shootout.
That'd be a shootout. UND hosting Abilene Christian. That would be a game. That'd be a lot of points.
Yep.
And then South Dakota State, UC Davis. Winner heads to Monmouth. Those are just a couple games where you go, whoa.
Yeah.
I hope YouTube TV and ESPN can figure it out by then, because that would be some great games we'd be missing out on at that point.
Taryn Dickens versus Bo Brungard.
Yes,
Sign
please.
Me up. Abilene Christian going to the Alaris Center when there's not going to be anybody in the crowd because it's hockey season.
Yep.
Reminded me a lot of Sacramento State going there a couple
Yep.
years ago. SDSU, Cal Davis, we got that one in 21. I think the Jacks would win because
Yep.
Chase Mason would be back, but these are some spicy matchups.
But also, Bison Harvard, can we get that in the quarterfinal?
Yes.
Dom Izzo, I may have to go find Dom if that's the quarterfinal matchup one week, because he
That
might
would be
lose his
awesome.
mind if that's a top 25 matchup. All right, our top 25 this week, I would say there wasn't I mean, all the chaos had happened. I don't think there was a ton of change, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Top 5, I don't think that's really going to surprise anybody. Bison, Grizz, Bobcats. Tarleton moves down to 4. We have Lehigh, and then Monmouth, Tennessee Tech, UND, Harvard, South Dakota State is our top 10. We respect Youngstown.
Yes, we
They're
do.
down at 21 in the poll this week. They got to be higher than that.
They do.
Again, we've said they're 4 losses. Michigan State and 3 Dakota schools. Put them higher than that.
Yeah.
And also, they beat Illinois State. They have to be higher than Illinois State.
And look at all the Valley schools that have a clunker
Right.
loss. Youngstown doesn't have that. If they lose to Northern Iowa in a couple weeks, then we'll have a
Mercer at
conversation.
15. They should probably be a little higher as
Yeah.
well. Rhode Island down there at the bottom of the poll. Abilene Christian, they needed that win to stay
Yes.
in our poll. South Dakota comes back into the poll. They were out of it last week. They're back in. And we have to put Presby at the bottom of the top 25 because they're the best team in the Pioneer, and someone's got to make it out of that league. So it's going to be Presbyterian. So the committee top 10, they came out a couple hours ago, 1 o'clock on Wednesday. Their top 25, we'll go top 10, I should say, from 10 to 1. UC Davis, Harvard, Monmouth, Tennessee Tech, South Dakota State. That's 10 through 6. 5 was Tarleton, 4 was Lehigh, 3 was Montana, 2 Montana State, and 1 is the North Dakota State Fighting Hawks. What? Oh, that's right. That's right. ESPN. That's right. I'm sorry. So, yeah, and so I get this correct. Mark Gronowski's the quarterback at NDSU. We play in the Alaris Center.
Yep.
And we're the Fighting Hawks.
Yeah. For those who don't understand what we're talking about, go back and watch the rankings.
Well, if you can.
Yeah.
If you can.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
on YouTube TV.
Sorry, YouTube.
If you can. But, boy, you have some thoughts on the top 10. But
I do.
Montana State in front of Montana, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why Montana's strength of schedule isn't great. It's good. They have the UND when they can fall back on. But Montana State's losses, South Dakota State, and then Oregon, who's 9th in the FBS and was in the first committee rankings for the CFP poll.
Yep.
So they're good. But it's going to take me to realize that Lehigh is a top 5 FCS team right now.
We said it in September. Them being a top 10 team, not good for FCS football.
You got thoughts. Go ahead.
SDSU barely beat the Trees at home, and they're number 6.
Yeah.
And they got blown out by the Bison. You can kind of...
That's 2 home losses, by the way.
That it is. And the next few weeks are going to sort themselves out.
Yeah.
But if it started today, I would not have South Dakota State as playing. I would have them on Thanksgiving weekend. So I think the committee is going based off of the number of Division I wins. But then still, that doesn't tie into South Dakota State at all. But Lehigh above Tarleton. Tarleton beat an FBS team. They have the same amount of D1 wins. They lost by 3. This also tells me UND has to go 2-0 in the next 2 Dakota games if they want to be a top 8 seed. How is SDSU above UND, and how are they this high above them? Because UND is a number 11, you'd think, right?
I don't know.
I just don't get it. I don't.
So our top 10s, they don't change a whole lot, I'd say, week by week. But just while we're on the subject, top 10s, Montana, North Dakota State, Montana State, Tarleton, Lehigh, Monmouth. We don't change it. I'll just go through them both because they're basically the same.
Yeah.
Monmouth, Tennessee Tech. We only differ at 8 and 9. I have UND at 8. You have Harvard at 8, and then vice versa. I have Harvard 9. You have UND 9. And then the Jacks are in there at 10. Dom had them at 13. So
I think South Dakota State dropping out of the top 10 is justified. UND almost won in Missoula and against Kansas State. And then the USD loss is kind of unforgivable, but it's still a close game. That's better than Indiana State. At home.
Absolutely.
At home. I just don't. We'll move on.
We'll move on to this week's Ethan's Tiers for this week, which is kind of a half joke, but also really fun to do.
It's fun.
Tier 1. I think there's a gap here after NDSU.
Yeah, obviously they played a close game this week. That's going to happen. I still would like to see somebody play 4 quarters with them and play within 3 points before I change it.
Well, I mean, Youngstown playing within four quarters, but
Yeah, just
like
not
less than 8 points is what
yeah,
you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Tier 2, contenders to lose to NDSU in Nashville. You titled these, by the way.
Yep.
In Nashville. Brawl of the Wild, Montana State. Now, again, the winner of that game, end of the regular season, it's in Missoula this year. My fault. It's in Missoula. Winner gets the 2 seed, the loser gets the 3, and likely the loser of that game is going back to the other for the playoff
Yeah,
game.
as long as they don't have a clunker in the quarters like they usually do.
Because they've never played in the playoff.
No,
This
haven't.
is the year it has to happen.
And I had UND and SDSU and Tarleton in this list before, like leading up to this.
Yeah.
There's no way any of those teams get to Nashville. I don't think anymore. Tarleton would have to go to Montana State or Montana. Not happening.
Not happening. Tier 3, contenders to lose in the quarters. North Dakota, Monmouth, Youngstown State, Lehigh, and Tarleton is in this tier.
Yeah, I think UND proved that they're higher than we think they were coming into the year, but they're still a little bit back down to earth, like I said. Monmouth, it's all about matchup based. I mean, Youngstown is the same way. I think they're dangerous, but they still got to get the right matchup. Lehigh, I don't know what to think. I'm sick of hearing about Lehigh being a top 4 team. Tarleton's going to get to the quarters. They're going to be the 4 seed. They'll get there.
Youngstown might be a team that they can make their 2016 Miracle run again. Because remember,
That would be fun.
2016, they were not seeded.
Nope.
If it was a 16-team model, they probably would have been seeded, but
Yeah.
under that format, they weren't seeded. They won 4 straight playoff games, I should say, against teams that maybe one team they were better than, but they had to beat Eastern Washington in a crazy semifinal. Then they only lost by 14 to JMU, so they may have that kind of run if Brungardt continues to play out of his mind.
Yeah.
And then Tier 4.
You lost to the Trees at home. I mean, we're Bison fans. We're going to give you crap. You can't lose to the Trees at home. It's unforgivable.
Peaches and Cream will find a way to make this all sunshine and rainbows, but there are storm clouds coming to Brookings.
Just wait till this week if they somehow lose. I mean,
I just can't explain how shocking that loss was
I know,
for them. Even Kurt Mallory's like, wait, we won this game?
Yeah.
It was just kind of had that kind of reaction on his face. So it just boggles the mind how they lost to Indiana State. Now, the Bison lost to them in 2012. They lost to Indiana State.
much better team.
Much better team because they had Shakir Bell, who was a great running back. There's none of that on that Indiana State team.
Am I crazy to say that the 2015 loss to the Yotes in the Dome was less crazy than this one in Brookings?
Yeah.
South Dakota State's been a juggernaut the last 3 years. You lose to Indiana State at home?
Not this year.
I don't know what to say.
Tier 5 could potentially win 1, maybe 2 playoff games if they're lucky. Illinois State, Mercer, Tennessee Tech, Harvard, UC Davis, Villanova, Rhody, and Abilene Christian.
These are basically teams that don't excite me a ton, but Abilene is a little interesting. Illinois State, I like them. I don't know. Brock's back in the playoffs is a mystery to me sometimes. I don't get excited about Villanova or Rhode Island. Harvard would be cool. I would like to see him come to the Dome.
Dom would like to see him come to the Dome.
Yeah, that's true.
So just going to update on some injuries before we get into the meat and potatoes of UND. A couple of players that are out on Saturday. Jalen Crumby, the safety, he's out this week. Will Stile is still coming back from a hamstring injury. Special teams ace, he is out this week. Jalen Duffy, Coach P called it an upper body injury. I believe it's a concussion, so they're going to sit him this week and play him next week against Northern Iowa. Makai Collins, didn't hear an update from Tim, not that I heard anyway, but looks like he's doubtful. He may dress, but I don't know if he'll play. And Austin Altepeter had surgery today on Wednesday on his ACL, so he's done for the year. Logan Larson had a little swelling of his knee during the game. He didn't play the second half. He looks like he's going to give it a go on Saturday. And then this one was a little strange at the end of Tim's opening remarks. Silas Evans, a wide receiver who's out for the year with a meniscus tear, dismissed from the team for a violation of team rules. And according to, this is Tim's words, in Act 4, represent the program in a first-class manner at all times. He did not go into further detail about what that was. No. And from my guy, Blake Engelbrecht at Bison Report, he said only the wide receivers know about it, or they knew about it before they got it to the rest of the staff and the coaches. So we don't know what he did, but he's not on the team. He'll stay on campus to finish his academic semester, but he is not a part of the football team. So that defense is getting depleted, but not a good time of the season.
Yeah, it's a little different because these are the depth pieces more of. Other than Duffy, who's a starter, it's not like 22 where Mostert's gone, Wagey's gone.
Yeah.
You know, Tutsi and Weber were banged up all year. It's a little different than that. Just get through this game, and you know these last 2 games. You know, Tim will never say it, but you can rest a little.
Point
bit.
to the postseason at that point.
Yeah.
So the last 6 matchups between North Dakota State and North Dakota, they've mostly gone NDSU's way, which is expected.
Yep.
I would say. 19, the Bison won 38-7 in the spring. That's when UND was ranked number 2 in the country, believe it or not. The Bison smashed them 34-13. The first time they went back to the Alara Center since 2003, they won 16-10. That was their first win ever inside the Alara Center in 2021. 22, the Bison won 42-21. You saw UND won 49-24 in 2023. We try not to remember that game.
Yep.
And then last year, the Bison got their payback and thumped them 41-17 last year. So the Bison are 1-3 at the Alara Center all time. Since the building was built in 2001, they played there 4 times, 3 times in the Division I era. So 1-3 all time.
Yeah.
17 points per game they've scored inside the Alara Center, and they've turned the ball over a bunch. 8 fumbles, 5 interceptions. It's like when the Jacks, when we couldn't turn the ball over against them, and the Bison would turn it over 10 times. That's kind of how this has been inside the Alara Center. They have struggled to be kind.
Yeah, it's not a fun place to play. I mean, we've seen teams, really good teams, go there and struggle, but I have a different vibe around this team, this Bison team, than 23 was like, it almost felt toxic.
Yeah.
At this time of the year. They turned it around, obviously, but this isn't a game you want to lose in front of that crowd.
Yeah, so, man, focusing really heavily on UND now, their ranks in the Valley, I mean, that offense is ridiculously good. 38 points per game, just under 2,000 yards rushing, almost 3,900 yards in total offense, 426 yards per game. They're about middle of the lower, the upper class, if that makes any sense on their statistics. But number 4 offense going against the Bison offense that's just lit up everybody this year so far this year. The only stat they're not first in statistically on offense in the Valley is their rushing attempts. 5.3 yards per rush. That's tied with UND with 3rd in the conference. They're first in everything. Points per game, rush yards, rushing yards per game, total yards per game, 3rd down percentage, 4th down percentage, red zone percentage. This would be a tough unit for UND to stop.
Yeah, and I think a key to the game, you look at the red zone. I mean, it might not seem 13%, might not seem like a lot. UND is 8th, and that's only ahead of teams like Murray in Northern Iowa. So the red zone's been a bit of a struggle, and part of that's special teams. But yeah, we can move on here.
Red zone struggles again. The Gavin Zebarth we didn't mention either. He's out this month, broken collarbone, and he destroyed NDSU in the 2023 matchup. So he is out for this game. And UND has not been the best in short yardage, just so we get through that quickly. No. On the defensive side, top 2 defenses in the FCS, in the Valley at least. Bison at 1, UND at 2. The Bison are 1st and 2nd in darn near everything. UND, they're 3rd in points allowed per game. They're 1st in rush yards allowed, 1st in rushing yards per game allowed. They only allow 2.7 yards per rushing attempt. That's ridiculous. Their 3rd down percentage only allow 30% on 3rd down. And 80% in the red zone. This is a good unit.
This is where Eric Schmidt kind of turned it around, because with Bubba, I mean, the offenses were good under him. It's just they couldn't stop anybody. They were a Big Sky team still. Eric Schmidt's beefed up this defensive line. You see the rushing yards. It's pretty good for UND.
Yeah, again, for NDSU quick, I mean, they're shutting people down. Youngstown's the outlier. They have dominated a lot of other opponents. 12 points per game allowed. That's by far the best in the conference and in the country. They only allowed 97.3 rush yards per game. Pretty good there. Only allowed just over 2,000 total yards through 9 games. 3rd down defense, they're the best. 4th down defense, they're the best. They've just been so cohesive. But again, these injuries are starting to take their toll a little bit, though.
Yeah, the depth is there. It's just more injuries is going to hurt, so you just got to get through this game.
More injuries are going to hurt. I like that.
Yeah.
That's good. Quarterbacks. This is where the matchup we're going to focus on this game. These 2 quarterbacks, Cole Payton, Jerry Kaminsky. I mean, Walter Payton finalists. Heck yeah, they're both of them are. Again, both of their interception totals I will look at first. All of Cole's are on. He had 1 bad ball against South Dakota State. The other 2 were tip passes. Jerry Kaminsky's, I think 2 of his interceptions are on tip passes.
And one of them was really bad against Vermillion when he's trying to throw the ball away. But he's been flawless other than that.
It's pretty much game changer and then a game manager. I mean, and that I'm trying to say in the nicest way possible for Jerry Kaminsky. That's a good team that UND has on the offensive side of the ball. Good offensive line. Sawyer Seidel's been ridiculously good. BJ Fleming has replaced Bo Belquist in this role. He's been really good as well.
Yeah.
So again, and Kaminsky's made play with his feet when he has to. He's not Cole Payton quick, but he's very elusive and can get. He's like Jared Goff, I will say, in a way.
Yeah.
I think it's a good comparison.
Yeah, it is, and I think it's going to come down to which quarterback plays better because I don't see Sawyer Seidel really. I mean, he might break loose a couple times, but there's no Zebarth to really. I don't think Seidel's a guy that can carry the ball 25 times a game.
Right.
I don't think the Bison are necessarily going to run it super well. I think it's going to come down to Cole Payton and Jerry Kaminsky.
But I just want to highlight this before we go into our next segment here. Malachi McNeil is the best defensive player for UND. I think he covers up a lot of errors. Some mistakes that UND makes, he goes sideline to sideline. He's just so good. I asked Coach Polsick about it, and he just said he's a good, solid football player.
Yeah,
like, you got to know where he is at all times. They got some good ends that can get after the quarterback. This is a good defense.
He's like Jackson Hankey. He's everywhere.
Very much so, yeah.
He's not going to like wow you with his speed or nothing.
No,
He's just
he just
solid
knows where
player.
the ball is.
Yeah, he's just a solid player.
All right, before we get to the picks, I'm well ahead of myself. Your keys to the game, what are they? Got 5 of them.
Special teams. Now, UND always has a trick up their sleeve. So maybe it could be a fake punt, a fake field goal, something like that. They're kicking. Usually they have a good kicker. They're 60% as a team in field goal percentage, worst in the Valley.
Right.
So if Ozick needs a big kick and he drills one, UND misses one, it could decide the game.
Yep.
So, and then obviously the kickoff returns have been huge for the Bison. And
I'd say so. Especially like these teams don't punt very much.
No.
They're 6th and 7th in the conference in punting because neither of them punt very much. So you may not see Aaron Bickerton on the field a ton. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Depends on the outcome of the game. Continue.
Forcing turnovers and responding to adversity. 2023, they kind of tie together because when Cam threw that pick, it was 28-17. It was still a game.
Yeah.
Cam threw a pick, the team shut down.
Yeah.
You just can't do it. I think you have to start fast in order to, because this is a hard place to play.
Yep. Forcing
turnovers take the energy out of the building. It's all tied into one concept. So
keep going.
Yeah. Stop Sawyer Seidel. I don't think, like I said earlier, I don't think he's a guy that's going to be able to carry the ball 25 times. He's not built that way. He's super fast. I don't think he's going to be able to tank through a lot of guys. Mm-hmm. You got to force Kaminsky to beat you with his arm. He's solid, but when he has a run game going, that helps, to say the least. Yeah. It's like Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, fair.
But that's an insult to Kaminsky. He's better than that for an FCS quarterback.
No doubt.
Whoever gets off the field on third down is going to win the game.
Yeah.
UND could not stay, or NDSU could not get off the field in the 23 game. And I keep going back to that because we do not have a lot of criteria based off the alert center. We don't. So you got to respond. You got to keep them out of the end zone. And then my last key, air it out early and often. I said this against the Jacks, and I didn't realize the Jacks defense wasn't as good as we thought.
Right.
They ran the ball really well that game. This game, you're not going to be able to do that. UND is much better than SDSU. Peyton, take over with your legs and your arm.
Yeah. Simo tried with Peyton to make him throw the ball. I think with Kaminsky, you have to make him throw the football because it's like facing Jared Goff on the Lions.
Yes.
If you make Jared Goff beat you with his arm, I'd rather have him throw the ball to beat me than Jahmyr Gibbs and Dave Montgomery rushing down your throat because the more you bring into the box, the more susceptible you are to those shots over the top. That's where B.J. Fleming has been so good this year as well.
That's what we saw the Vikings do.
Yeah, and it worked.
Yeah.
They almost, in typical Vikings fashion, blew the game, but this blueprint does work. Third downs, those are huge. And the Bison are the best third down offense in the country. They've been so good on every 3rd and 8, 3rd and 16. It doesn't matter what the distance is. They somehow find a way to pick it up with Reese Kessel and Raja and Cole and those guys. I think you said, I remember, was one of your hot takes 125-plus yards for Bryce in this game?
Yes.
I would expect that this week. This could be a 3-touchdown Bryce Lance game. It really could be.
You saw him, against the Jacks, Cole was staring Bryce down.
Oh, yeah.
If UND doesn't double him, and if they do, Raja's open. I mean, Raja's been so good
and
this
Jackson
year.
Williams and Chris Harris and Reese Kessel can get open down the field.
Yeah, I fear Raja Nelson's going to get lost in the mix with when people talk about this team years from now. But he's been great this year.
All right, leads back up to 3 for me.
Yep. I was due to lose.
The Lumberjacks pounded UTRGV, so my lead's back to 3. 5 games we're picking. Number 12 Mercer, number 24 Western Carolina. Southeastern Louisiana at number 20 Lamar. Southern Illinois at number 21 Youngstown State in an elimination game for all intents and purposes. South Dakota State at South Dakota. South Dakota loses. They are donezo in the playoff race. And then, of course, UND and NDSU. First game we're going to be picking here. Mercer going on the road, taking on Western Carolina. I'm going Mercer.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of the hottest teams. I said this last week. Hottest team in the FCS debatably right now up there with NDSU. They've won 7 in a row. They're a 9-point road favorite. Taron Dickens on Western Carolina. He's going to make this a game, but I like Mercer in this game.
Yeah, before I make my pick here, we got to acknowledge this is the best week of picks we've had for games.
Oh, yeah, we're playing for a trophy now, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
The trophy's coming on Friday.
Got to mention that.
I don't know if we're going to show it next week or we wait till the end of the season to debut it, but it's coming this week, so we'll debut that at some point.
We've had a lot of games where we picked and we're like, I just don't like this game.
Yeah.
These are all ranked games. These are all ranked teams.
All good games, yeah.
But anyway, I'm going with Taron Dickens. This is going to be a shootout. I don't know a ton about either of these teams. I think Western Carolina is going to bring it home. This is for the conference, I think.
It is.
Yeah,
I think so.
It could be for a top 16 seed. I think Mercer will be anyway, but it's a great game to...
Western Carolina is hanging on by their fingernails to stay on top, just to stay in the conference race and in the playoff race. They lose, they're done.
Yes, for sure.
Southeastern Louisiana at number 20 Lamar. Another hot team on a hot streak. That is Southeastern Louisiana. The Lions have won 5 straight. They've outscored their last 4 opponents. Brace yourself. 184-28 in their last 4 games, and they're a 9.5-point favorite. Give me the Lions.
Yeah, I have not been impressed with Lamar ever since that USD win. I mean, their offense just isn't good enough for this conference.
It's not.
It's Southeast Louisiana's looked really good, and I'm rolling with them.
Third game we're picking. Somehow Southern Illinois is still ranked above Youngstown State. I don't get that one at all.
But they beat Thomas More.
Yeah, that's the difference. You beat your neighbor down the street, and you end up being ranked above a team who's only lost 4 games to teams that are arguably some of the best in the country. So why don't we have votes? We need votes.
We should.
So I'm going Youngstown. They're a half-point home favorite, that's way too few amount of points for Youngstown. Yes. They should be at least a touchdown favorite in this game. Their 4 losses, again, just Sparty, Jackrabbits, Fighting Hawks, Bison. Those are their losses. Brungard carries this team to the playoffs. Give me Youngstown.
Yeah. By the way, follow our Twitter so you can see my against the spread picks.
Yes.
This is going to be, I'm taking the over on this. I'm not taking Youngstown or Southern Illinois in that part. But for this purpose, we've seen both these teams in person. Yeah. I am unimpressed with Southern Illinois. I'm disappointed. Give me Youngstown.
Yeah, this might be the toughest one for us to pick. I went back and forth with this before I sent my pick-ins. Number 8, South Dakota State at number 22, South Dakota. I don't feel confident in who I'm picking. I'm going South Dakota State. I'm picking South Dakota State because Mason might play. There's a chance he plays this week. He's out of the boot. We'll see if he goes this week. Otherwise, it's Luke Marble and Jack Henry show. Ouch. But I think Dan Jackson rights the ship, and he finds a way to end their rivals' playoff hopes. And the Jacks are a 9-point road favorite in the Dakota Dome. I'm going to take South Dakota State.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I don't feel good about my pick at all. If Chase Mason plays, it's probably going to be SDSU, but I don't know who's playing, so I'm going with Aiden Bauman. I'm going with the experience at quarterback. I do not trust Luke Marble or is it Jack Henry? I don't trust that.
If you go 0-2, I basically lock this thing up, just so we're clear.
But I mean, this is the pick I don't feel great about at all.
Oh, yeah. And then last game we're picking, Battle of North Dakota, UND, North Dakota State. I'm picking NDSU. I don't think that's a surprise, but I think Cole Payton comes out, like I said, fire in his eyes. Youngstown held him in check. I wonder if UND's going to try to do some of the same things. I don't know if you're going to spy Johnny Wilshire on him or something. Yeah. I don't know if you can do that against Cole Payton. Youngstown had athletes. I think they have more athletes than we like to let on. UND's got talent. I think the Bison just have a little more of it, and they somehow find a way to win this game. And the Bison are actually a double-digit favorite, believe it or not. So I'm going NDSU.
Yeah, I think I'm taking UND plus 13.5 against the spread. But anyway, I'm obviously going to pick the Bison. It's going to be tough to win in Grand Forks no matter how good UND is. They could be 5-5 at this point, and they're tough to beat.
Yeah.
It's going to be Cole Payton. I think he's going to take over. I think he's going to run wild. A late defensive hold, like a interception from Woolen or something, is going to steal the game, but give me the Bison.
Yeah, I got 38-24 Bison in this game. Someone's got to hold these guys under 38 points. Until somebody does it, I'm just going to keep picking this pretty much the same kind of score. I think the Bison UND's going to get some yards. It's a turnover, key penalties, something is going to keep UND off the board a couple of times. Yep. I think the Bison do just enough to squeak out a 2-score win.
Yeah, I have a touchdown game. I got 34-27. I don't feel great about it. I think it'll be a close game, but I thought the game in Brookings was going to be a close game. This team
Yeah.
proves me wrong. I I hope I'm wrong, but I got 34-27.
Yeah. So again, it's here. North Dakota State, UND, number 1 against number 13. The game is at 1 o'clock on WDY ABC. YouTube TV providers, hopefully you can find the game on Midco if it's not on if you can't get the game on WDAY. Bison 1660, of course, has the game on radio. Bison game day at 10 a.m. I'll be in Grand Forks with WDY for that game. You'll be in the stands.
Yep,
so,
I'll be there.
but should be a great atmosphere. Hopefully it's a sellout crowd. It looks like just a couple tickets are left, but it looks like this should be a sellout crowd. It should be a great game.
Yeah, if you can't get it on YouTube TV, go to the game. We need more Bison fans there.
We need a lot more Bison fans for that game. But until then, for our great crew in the back and Ibach here on the set, I'm Grant Harbour. This has been the Bison Overtime Show. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week. Go Bison.